This is the Panasonic Lumix 100 to 300mm telephoto lens, and it's incredible. Let me explain why. Hi, I'm Martin Keane, and on this channel, Keen on Tech, we cover technology tips and techniques. And in this video, we're looking at this telephoto lens for micro four thirds cameras. I use this on my GH5. This is a pretty small lens with an incredible reach, up to 300mm, which on a full frame camera is 600mm, so 200 to 600 equivalent. It is incredible given its size, and it's not this great big massive thing. And I want to show you how it can be used to such good effect, why it's so good. So look, here's an example. I went to an NFL football game recently. I wanted to film the action, but didn't really have the best of seats. I was actually sat all the way at the back at the top. You can see here, this is taken on my iPhone, where those seats were, so a long way from the action. And I wanted to see how good this lens would be to capture the action on the field. Well, let's take a look. So for me, I have been blown away by the performance of this, that I could be sat so far away and get such good footage in a lens that was small enough to be able to get into the game. The Panthers have a rule that the length of a lens cannot exceed 6 inches, and this is 5 inches, so I was able to bring this into the stadium and get this footage. Now, to really sort of see how big it is, I'd like to show you it compared to my regular 12 to 35 lens, but that's on the camera I'm looking into right now, so hold on, let me grab it. Oh, thank goodness for the overhead camera. So look, this is the 12 to 35, and if we lay down the 100 to 300 next to it, you can see that it's, well, about twice as long, so it's really not too bad. Now, that is until, of course, you extend it to its full 300mm length. It does get quite a lot longer at that point. All right, let's put this lens back. Ah, that's better. The other thing that's fantastic about this lens is it is stabilized. It has Power OIS, and that means it is optically stabilized, which is really important when you have a long lens like this, because when you're shooting at 300mm, the slightest bit of camera shake is going to look enormous in the picture. So this thing is incredibly stable. I can just hold it up using my GH5, and it just keeps things very, very stable indeed. In terms of downsides, I only really found one, and that's with the focus. So we have this manual focus here. I was using manual focus primarily because I was shooting at 120 frames per second, and on the GH5 there is no autofocus for that frame rate. Now, when you have such a long focal range, moving this thing just a tiny bit has a massive effect on the focus. So you really have to be very, very precise to hit the focus point that you want. And this does not really lend itself to being very precise. Just very small movements and not that easy. It's kind of stiff, it's kind of jumpy. So I did struggle just a little bit when I was having to manually focus stuff, getting things right. It would take a few turns. But other than that, and it was certainly workable, other than that, I absolutely adore this lens. It can get you into all sorts of places that you couldn't normally get to because it's so small and because the reach is so far. So that's it, my look at this lens. See you on the next one.